So welcome back to another episode, and today I'm going to talk about some remasters and remakes of certain games that I believe are a 10 out of 10 remake remastering. And before I begin, I will ask you guys, what are some games out there that you got remasters of, remakes of, that you absolutely adore? They knocked it out of the park. They hit it as a 10 out of 10 for you personally. Let me know down below. Absolutely. These are just my personal picks, but these games mean something to me. I enjoyed the original games. That's also a big thing. And I really enjoyed the remaster or remake. Okay, let's go back to 2002 here for a split second. This small little game, a hugely anticipated game, Metroid Prime, was released for the GameCube. The anticipation, the build-up towards this game was unbelievable. This was the killer app for the GameCube, and I played it, and I was absolutely blown away by this game. The exploration, the environments, your weapons, the storyline, the first-person perspective, it was unbelievable. And so, 20 years ago, I really enjoyed this game, and then something amazing happened. In 2023, we got Metroid Prime Remastered for the Nintendo Switch. And I gotta be honest with you, I didn't know what they could really do with the game. My memory of the original game was, oh, it looked really, really good. It looked amazing. Like, what more could they do, especially with the Switch? The Switch's hardware is pretty good, but really, what could they do? And I put this game in, and I was amazed at what they did with this remaster, remake in a lot of ways, because they remade certain assets of it, for sure. I played the game, and I was absolutely blown away. I loved the attention to detail. I loved how we finally were in 1080p, with beautiful textures. The environments looked sharper, everything looked more vibrant, and we were taking a game that was already a 10 out of 10 game and giving us a 10 out of 10 remaster, remake with it. There was so many aspects of it that was so well done. And it honestly, here's what's crazy, it felt like a brand new game to me. It did. I remembered the original game, but going into this new one was like, oh my god, and I spent a lot of time playing this new remastered version, and I loved it. I thought it was really, really great. It gives me high hopes for Metroid Prime 4. Yeah, 2023 will be known as the remake remastering year because a favorite of mine from back in 2005 was Resident Evil 4. Again, this was another killer app that you had to get a GameCube to play originally. And I did. The cultists, the storyline, the survival horror, it was something else. And I have such fond memories of this game. And I remember it being very, very difficult back then. And I was like, oh my god, I just love it, but man, it was a punishing game at times. And then something amazing happened, and we got Capcom doing amazing remakes of Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, and we got the same thing for Resident Evil 4 in 2023, an amazing remake. Unbelievable. Now, I finished this game maybe around a month ago, and it, again, made it seem like a totally different game to me. And I hadn't played it since back when it first got released in like 2005. So I was playing this game and it felt like a brand new game. I was like, I can't believe it actually looked this good. And the original game looks good, it does, but what they've done with the updated resolution, the textures, the environments, the characters, the updated characters alone, my god, what they've added to the environments, running around, I was in heaven, and it was one of those games, I gotta say, I did not want it to end. And I've gotta say this, I wanted to say it when I was reviewing it and when I was talking about it originally, that Resident Evil 4 Remake is a 10 out of 10 game. Without question. Even if it was just on its own, it would be a 10 out of 10. But because it's a remake of an original game, they knocked it out of the park. It's an unbelievable remake from the original. So much love has gone in there that I gotta be honest with you, I'm a little blown away they got it so right. And I'm so thankful for that. Capcom really knows how to nail it. And you know what? Back in 2002, they also nailed another remake, and that was for Resident Evil, the original game. They remade it for the GameCube. Is this getting tiresome? Yes, it was a killer app as well. And I just wanted to briefly mention this one. When I saw this one, the original game was okay. I didn't particularly love it, But seeing it on the GameCube with a remake, the way they did it, with the 3D characters, the way they did, with the textures, with the lightning, with the environments, I thought this was an unbelievable game, and I'll be honest with you, it scared the heck out of me back in the day. I remember sitting in this room back in 2002 playing this, and I had all the lights off, and I was like, oh my god, this game is scary. Really beautiful stuff, and I even enjoyed Origins when they remade it once again. In 2008, a small game came out that it was an untested franchise. Nobody knew what it was going to be like. I knew there was a lot of gore in it. I knew it kind of reminded me of Alien, The Thing. Had to pick it up, and that is the original Dead Space. I picked this up and I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was a fan for life after playing this game. I was a true believer, and I loved every single second I had playing this game. It was like living the Alien movie franchise, but within a different way. And, you know, kind of more like The Thing in there, like Event Horizon going on as well. They nailed the game back then, and there were some sequels, and I enjoyed the sequels, but not as much as I enjoyed the original. So I was very excited when they announced Dead Space was coming out, a remake of it, a remastering of it. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. And I played it, and you know what? It was like a whole new game once again. The beautiful facelift going from the original game, which I thought the original game was really, really nice. I had no idea how much they would absolutely nail it. And I just want to say something. If you've never played Dead Space, go out and buy this game instantly. If you like survival horror in any kind of genre, you will love this game. And if you want a scary game, get this game. Lots of fun here. I had a lot of fun with the remake. I gotta say, a high recommendation for me. Definitely a 10 out of 10 remake, for sure. In 2009, something happened. Again, an unproven franchise that nobody knew that was going to blow up and become the franchise forever. You know what I mean? And everybody would be memeing it for an eternity, saying it was the Dark Souls or the Demon Souls of games. It is Demon Souls of PS3. When this game came out, I heard some rumblings online. People were talking about how amazing it was, and I'm like, well, I'll give it a go. I'll see what it's like. And I started playing it. I'm like, oh my god, this is a whole different kind of style of game. This is really brutal. It's really deadly, but it was very, very interesting. The world building in there, the environments, very cool, very awesome stuff. Now, the PS5 was launching, and guess what? Bluepoint Games came to bat, and we got Demon Souls, the remake. And I will say this, when I saw the trailer of this game, I'm like, yeah, I'm buying a PS5 day one. I'll figure it out. And I sat online waiting for Best Buy, you know, to sell them for the first time. I finally was able to get a PS5. And when I put this game in, I couldn't believe it. I thought it was so amazing. I thought they did such a beautiful job. And it's, again, you know, talking about some of these games, the originals are so good, that a bit of a facelift on there goes a long way, and this is a heck of a facelift. Going from the original to this, a beautiful game, a deadly game. For me, it was the reason why I bought a PS5. And I still think it's one of the better looking games on PS5, if not one of the best, for sure. And I think they did a really amazing job. The textures, running around in the world, I was like, the lighting, I'm like, this is insanity. And definitely a 10 out of 10 game for me personally. Okay, this next game is one that I gotta admit, I did not expect. I played it on Game Boy back in like 1993 when it originally came out, and that was Link's Awakening. And when it came out on Game Boy, I was like, this is a novel game, and I played it for quite a bit of time, and I thought it was good, you know? So this is one of those ones where the original game I thought was good, but it was the remake of it that really blew me away, and that is for Link's Awakening, right here on the Nintendo Switch. I've even put this in other 10 out of 10 lists. This game is one of those ones where I was surprised by it. I was like, oh, it looks cutesy, it looks good. I kind of like the claymation-y look of it, but the proof was in the pudding in actually playing it. And I started to play it, and it's a beautiful little world. And it's so, just for the graphics alone, it's like a candy claymation look to it that is beautiful, and I absolutely adore. But the gameplay and the challenge there's some good challenge in this game, but the exploration of such a small world, I couldn't believe it. And even the anime cutscenes are something straight out of a 90s anime, and I love it. It feels very 90s. And I think that's why I like this game so much, is that it took everything of the original game, but made it for a fresh, brand new audience. And I realistically was that audience. I finished the game twice. I could even finish it again because I like it that much, but high recommendation for Zelda Link's Awakening. Okay, I'm ending on this one here. In 1996, a small system came out, Nintendo 64, and it came out with this little game here, Mario 64. A game that became the stuff of legends. Going from 2D to 3D was a sight that I don't think I'll ever see again the same way. Blew me away. I've talked about this game numerous times. That's what I want to say. And then we got other games. We got Mario Sunshine. We got Mario Galaxy. And then we got Mario Galaxy 2. And I loved all these games. I loved them on the original systems, but I always wanted a way to play them on modern consoles. And then, for a limited time, it came out Super Mario 3D All-Stars right here that has Super Mario 64, Mario Sunshine is on there, and Super Mario Galaxy. Yes, Mario Galaxy 2 not being on there is a bit of a disappointment for sure, but I just want to say, for me, I love this because I have all of my Mario games in high definition. And that's the big selling point for me. I can just plug it in and play it. I don't have to bring out old systems and hook it up through FrameMeisters and all sorts of things to up the resolution. The resolution is there to begin with. And this is one of those ones that came out and I was so thankful for it. I can finally play all the games on one cartridge in one way, and I love that. And I'm really appreciative that this came out because I am a big Mario fan and I like to have all my Mario games together, and I feel with this release we did get this for sure. So guys, those are some of my 10 out of 10 remasters, and I've got other ones. I mean, there's been so many remasters over the years for so many games. I can't talk about all of them, and some of those ones right there are 10 out of 10s. They were great games for sure, but I will ask you guys, what are some 10 out of 10 remasters, remakes that you played that you were absolutely blown away by, that became 10 out of 10 games for you personally? Let me know in the comment section below. So anyways guys, until next time.